Alrighty, so welcome everyone. This is our total body workout class. So this is our first session of our next 8 weeks, and already I believe next Monday is a holiday. I don't think we meet next Monday already, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so next Monday is Martin Luther King Day. So yeah, so we have that Monday off. So yeah, but with that being said, we'll get started. And yeah, so I think maybe I mentioned to some of you before the term was up that I've been using this app for some of my clients. So I started incorporating the workouts for this class in there. So yeah, so I'm just gonna use my app. I already have the workout programmed. So it's gonna be a little bit more structure, and the app is able to tell me, you know, when my rest is up, when the next exercise should start. So we should be on a more even, consistent flow. So yeah, and I like the app because I could put in how much weight I go in there, and then by the end of the workout, it'll tell me how much I lifted based on an animal type or something. So, anyways, so we'll get started. I think we have everyone's here is a returner, so I don't think there's too much use for introduction, but I'm Coach Julio. If it is your first time here with me, welcome. But yeah, you can call me Julio, Coach Julio, whatever you like. And if you need to communicate with me, just email me through Canvas or my email, which is Jimenez_Julio@sac.edu. But yeah, should be able to respond. So, anyways, let's get started with our warm up. So let's just turn left to right. Over here, it is our first workout together in about a little over a month. And it is cold. I spent all weekend cleaning this garage, so I'm hoping it stays tidy, nice and tidy, up and down. I'm here at home, and the rest of the family's in Mexico right now. So home alone for a little bit. Next circles. Switch. Got our group chat going over the last few weeks. Now that we have class, we could continue it still if you folks want to, but yeah, but we're back in session. Let's go ahead and do snow angels. Ran 5 miles this morning, 40, 46, 43 degrees when we started. Hey, Carmen. There you go. So everyone get the email last night? Yeah, okay, good. So I was trying to email via Canvas and it wouldn't let me because the course wouldn't be open or published until midnight. And that's when I could send the email. So I just tried to send it via my Stack Santa Ana College email address. Bring that right arm across. So again, total body workout, if it's new for you, we typically try to do um, exercises to work out the full body. And we'll do these in groups of about 4 or 5 different lifts or exercises. Usually about 2 or 3 upper body, 1 lower body, and 1 core movement. And that would be our set. And we do each set twice. And we'll try to get to about 2 to 3 of those giant sets. So, which for trunk rotation. So ab circles. So just back is nice and straight. Just hinge at your hip and pump back. I haven't been able to drop my weight from the cruise. I had dropped a few pounds and then I'm back up. So went on a cruise about 2 to 3 weeks ago and gained 12 pounds in a week. So dropped about 5 and then just been home with my mom and her good cooking. I think I'm back up to those 5. Big hula hoops. So just big hip circles. It's okay. I'm not too concerned with weight right now. I have my half marathon next weekend. We'll see how that goes. Oh, just big hula hoops. Which quad stretch. Bring back. Good morning, everyone. If you're just logging in, good morning. Oh, we're already in January. I feel like it was just May a few months ago. Switch. So yeah, so for today's class, equipment that we'll need will just dumbbells and a yoga mat. That's all we need today. I don't think we have any chair exercises. Um, but yeah, but if you're looking to get some equipment, besides dumbbells, I would say resistance bands, the loop ones, the mini bands that you could put around your legs. I would go with that. We're gonna do our hamstring stretch. This is our variation here. So usually for this one, like grabbing my ankles and coming down, and then just bring your glutes up and then down. We'll do about 8 to 10 of these. And our last one is going to be our deep squat. So just drop your hips as low as you can. Hey, Debbie. Low. Yeah, it looks like the fires are winding down a little bit, but I think if you're close to them, you still might get some smoke. Did you get much smoke out there, Debbie? You're close by the foothills, right? Shift left to right. There you go. You get much? You're still getting smoke, Debbie, up there? You're unmuted, I think. And let's rise. Okay. Let's get your yoga mat. Have that nearby, just in case. Thinks it says you're muted right now, Debbie, and then now it's unmuted. Oh, I just can't hear you though. Maybe the microphone's off or something. Oh, okay. No idea. Okay, we'll try next time. No worries. But I hope you're doing well. I hope everyone's doing well. So, alrighty. Okay. So, 1 second. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll go over the workout. So we're gonna do some shoulder presses, reverse curls, bent over rows, reverse lunges, and sit-ups for that one. Okay, so 4 standing and 1 on the floor. So we'll need our dumbbells for the first 4 movements, and then we're gonna do that 1 round. We'll take a 2-minute rest, then we'll do a second round of that. Okay, so have your dumbbells nearby. Gonna sit up, and the recovery in between the lifts is gonna be I believe 20 seconds. So don't go too far. I know sometimes without the app I say 20 seconds, sometimes that could turn into a minute. So we're gonna try to stick right on it so you can get the most out of it. Okay, so again, the first one's gonna be a neutral grip shoulder press. So for that, we're gonna be here. So again, usually we do this shoulder press. Now we're gonna have them in front of us and go up this way. Okay. All right, and let me start this workout. We're gonna go ahead and do 10 of those, okay? So 10, ready? Okay, go. So up, 1, 2, yep, so right here. 3, 4, all the way down. 5, make sure you're breathing. Usually exhale, inhale. That's 7, 8, 9, 10. Put that down. 20 seconds. So this next one, we're gonna have the dumbbells here, and we're gonna come up this way. Okay. So usually we're out here, come here, but now we're gonna be this way and go up. Okay. We'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, let's go. So every time you hear that beep, this is the reverse curl. Seconds. So dumbbell bent over, back is nice and straight. Dumbbells are here, and you can go either wide or narrow. Okay, that's going to be the dumbbell bent over row. Are we ready? All right, there's our count. A nice bent over, back is straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale on your way up. Exhale on your way down. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. Right. Next is reverse lunges. This is going to be 10 on each leg. So you could do a free body weight, or you could have dumbbells at your side. We're going to go back and down, and we're going to alternate. Okay, so 10 on each leg, so a total of 20. Did legs yesterday, so I'm just going to go regular body weight, but you can have your dumbbells. Ready? Begin. So a total of 20, 10 on each leg. Make sure that knee comes kind of low. Your torso is nice and upright. It takes a little bit longer, but it's fine. All right, and I believe we'll be on the floor for the next one. So yeah, so next one's gonna be sit-ups. Okay, this one we're gonna go for 40 seconds. So you can do regular sit-ups or sliding sit-ups. I go with the sliding one since it's our first one. So remember, sit-ups, you're just on your back and slide your hands up your lap towards your knees. Okay. You guys are ready? 3, 2, 1, go. So just slide your hands from your lap to your knees. Do 2 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. All right. This is where we get our 2 minutes rest, okay? So during these 2 minutes, what I recommend is just grab some water. You know, if you want to change your weight, have your new set of weights ready. But yeah, so I really like this app because again, it just keeps me on task with my workout. And I usually some of my lifting sessions are about an hour 40 to 2 hours. So now my workouts are between I'd say about an hour to about an hour 15. So it's reduced my workouts by about 40 minutes, which is kind of crazy now that I think about it. I'm like, okay, I was just like spending 40 minutes of my time during the workout, either on my phone or on my laptop, or just distracted. So it makes it a lot more handy to have this app. So that's the app that I use for my clients. Oh. So 50 seconds. And again, we're gonna start with the neutral shoulder press. So if that first set was a little bit challenging, then maybe just stick with that weight. But if it seemed a little bit too light, or you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, then just maybe go on that next round. Ooh. You have 24 more seconds. Remember, we're going to be here and up. We'll see how many calories we burn today. We're at about 60 calories right now. All right, here we go. So here and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring that down. Gonna check the chat real quick. Okay. All right. Glad you're in well, Debbie. All right, let me put that in. Reverse curls are next. All right, so reverse curls. All right, let's do it. And for these, I find it easier if I don't wrap my thumb around the dumbbell and I just keep them on the right next to my pointing finger. I just feel like my wrist doesn't get irritated as much. And it's easier to rotate too. Oh, 20 seconds. Yeah, Sarah, Elsa, Karina, Maria, Sherry, Anna, Zoom user, Lisa, Olivia, Miss Wynn, Cherise, Debbie, Ella, Carmen, Adriana. Hey, Adriana. Hello. All right. Bent over rows. Okay, so if you went wide on the last one, let's go narrow on this one. So again, just here. And elbows to your side. 2, 3. Full extension. So all the way down, make sure your elbows completely stretch out. You don't want them bent. There you go. Reverse lunges. Okay. Gonna add some weights on this one. We got Auntie Kathy. I think that's Kathleen. All right, so reverse lunges. Right, Kathleen? Is that you? Okay, ready? 10 on each leg. Keep moving. Speaking of moving, I'll be posting a video on Canvas about why we should be walking and not become sedentary. So lots of obvious reasons, but yeah, in case you're new to getting in shape or getting back into it, it's never too late. All right. That one burned a little bit more. 20 and 20. Yeah. All right, sit-ups next. So remember 40 seconds of those. Oh. 35, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. 40 seconds. Halfway there. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Okay. 2 minutes again. We're going to go to the knee set. Okay, this is our second giant set. So we have dumbbell underhand raises. So that's going to be a chest movement here. So you start here with the dumbbells, then you're going to raise up here and come up. We're doing 12 of those. Then we're gonna be doing single leg Romanian deadlifts, okay? So those are when you're on one leg and then you go slowly down and then slowly up, okay? If we're working on our balance and we're quite not there yet, then just do both feet. And then you just come down, slight bend at the knee, and then back up, okay? This is a great movement for your hamstrings, but single leg will work on balance too. So I have about a minute left. This is gonna be a new one. It's a new one for me too. It's called the Palanquin lateral raise. So for that one, I believe, let me see. I need to watch the video because I remember. So you pretty much are gonna do hammer curl, out, straight, down, okay? So curl, out, straighten out, and down, okay? That's gonna be our Palanquin lift. That's our third movement, okay? Tricep kickbacks for our triceps, just here, extending, and then side plank. You guys know those side planks on the floor. Okay, we have 15 seconds. Remember, we're gonna start here, come up. Doing 12 of those. All right, here we go. So here, up. And if you can do a little squeeze up top, come back down, squeeze, squeeze. Wow. Ooh. I think I overdid it on that one. Okay. So that was 12. So in case anyone is lifting the same weights as I am, for my first set, I'm just alternating between 5-pound dumbbells and 10-pound dumbbells. So if you have that, by the end of the workout, I'll tell you how much weight you lifted for the whole thing. Ah, what do we have next? Next is our Romanian deadlift, okay? Remember, if you're doing single leg, one at a time, then 10 on one leg, or 8 on one leg, 8 on the other. If you're doing both legs together, then give me 15 of those, okay? So I'm gonna start off with the 5-pound weight. Leg is elevated, slight bend at the knee, slowly down, and slowly up. So about 3 to 4 seconds down, about 2 to 3 seconds up. Okay. And if you have both feet, it's the same count. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're at about 4 right now. This is again working on balance and hamstrings. Might be some shaking, and your ankles or your feet might be a little sore after this one. So a little slower, but we'll manage. Once you've done 8 on one side, switch. And remember, if you're using both your feet, then give me 15. Have my runners do this one too. This is just good all over your hip joint, your hamstring, your balance. And when your feet get a little achy, activates your calf muscles too. You can have 2 more. All right. About that one. All right. Next is going to be that Palanquin lateral raise. Okay, so remember, hammer, out, extend, down. Okay. We're doing 8 of this. 8 of this one. Ready? Over here. So hammer, out, extend, and down. That's one. Hammer curl, out, extend, down. Three. I like these complex movements. Just work out different muscle groups. Almost like the Arnold press, but this is a incorporating lateral raises. I feel like if you can't get this motion down, you might be a bad dancer, right? Because there's like a little rhythm to it. You might you'll see me kind of do a different thing, so I'm not good at dancing. So, anyways, good job. That was 10 of those. I like it. I think it's a good one. Tricep kickbacks, bent over like the rows, but now elbows here, and remember you're extending. Okay, we'll start that in 10 seconds. So grab your weights, make sure it's appropriate. So again, like the rows, elbows back, and just extend. 1, 2. You could go 10 to 15 on this. 3, 4, 5. Keep your head down. So you're breathing. Hit 15. You got side planks next, so we'll be on the floor. Remember, side plank, literally just here. You could have your hips off the ground and just your feet and your elbow. And if that's too challenging, you could just have your lower leg, so it could be from your knee to your elbow up. Okay. 40 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. Twenty seconds in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. All right. 2 minutes rest. Remember, we're back to the dumbbell underhand raises, okay? How's everyone doing? Not too bad for the first day? Ooh. My one of my friends got me this little thing for my medals, so I didn't know where to hang it, so I hung it up here on my rafter. But I thought if I hung it too low, um it was gonna the kids were gonna attack it, so had to put it a little bit higher. That was cool. Nice. Haven't displayed my medals in like 20 years, so I don't think I got any medals for about 15 years. It's kind of nice to get some medals again. All right. We got 50 seconds left. Again, even if you feel like you're ready to go, like let's get this going, just let your muscles relax a little bit. Because again, this is our first day. We'll try to reduce the rest to 90 seconds moving forward. So 30 seconds. Oh, I do miss Jillian, my wife, and kids. I mean, oh. All right. So let's grab those dumbbells. 10 seconds. So again, remember, we go here. If you're gonna go for 12 on this one, give me 12. Ready? Okay, go. One. It's up 12 right there. 20 seconds. All right, Romanian deadlifts. I'm gonna go a little bit heavier on this one. So again, single leg, 8, double legs or both feet, 6, 15. Okay, so leg elevated. And again, about 4 seconds down, 4 seconds, 2 to 3 seconds back up. Switch. Very good. That felt easier than the first set. Um, Forgot to mention, so we're gonna go back to the palanquin lift. I'm on jury duty this week, so I just happened not to get called in this today. So in case there's a slight chance we might not meet on Wednesday, but I'm really hoping I don't get called in. So, but yeah, I was really happy when I got told not to go in today. All right, so 8 palanquin. So ready? Okay, go. So curl out, extend. Yeah. I was actually supposed to go in mid-October, but I pushed it back for this week. Because mid-October we're like in season with the team. I don't want to miss any races in case I got selected. And the first time that I could move it to, or the first week was I think this week, or yeah, this week. And yeah, we start tracking about 3 weeks. So hoping, fingers crossed. Got one more. Awesome. Okay, palanquin. 8. Tricep kickbacks are next, so 12 to 15 of those when the bell rings. And I believe the next giant set, everything's gonna be on the floor. So just a heads up. Okay, palanquin or tricep kickback. So bend over, back is nice and straight, elbows back, and extend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Got me a little bit. And we're gonna do our other side for our side plank. Look, you did your right side on the first round. Let's go on your left side in the second round. Remember, this is also 40 seconds here. Ready? Up. Fifteen more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Very good. All right, we're going into our last set. Okay. And our last set, we still have 2 minutes rest. So our last set is going to be push-ups is the first movement. So then we're gonna do glute bridges. So that's when we're on our back like a sit-up, but we bring our hips off the ground, squeeze the glutes and back down. Russian twist. And then a new one for our hip joint, okay? It's called a quadruped hip car for that one. So I'll go over that one right now since it's new. And it's new for me as well. I saw it and I thought it was kind of neat for hip mobility. So for that one, you're gonna go out and then here and then back down. Okay. So pretty much you're gonna go out here. We've done this before, the fire hydrant. So it's like a fire hydrant, but then you're rotating it back behind you like a donkey kick and then back down. So just here and then taking it back down. Okay, so from the front, it kind of looks like this. And down. Okay. And again, that's just for good hip mobility. And it's going to be those 4 movements. So yeah. So it's actually more of like a mobility and flexibility exercise, but I think it's good just to have that stuff incorporated every day. All right, so push-ups, 10 to 15. You could do modified push-ups on your knees, or just regular traditional push-ups, whatever you like. We have 15 seconds. Ooh. I have to add more exercises because, yeah, this is keeping me on task, not on you guys, so much me. Yeah, so we're able to do a little bit more. All right, here we go. Oh. So 10 to 15 push-ups, your own count. Okay, go. For me. All right, remember the next one's the body weight glute bridges. For this one, we're doing 15. So that's when we're here. Arms at your side, bring your glutes up, squeeze, and then back down. Okay. 15 of those. Ready? Okay, go. Squeeze the glute for about 2 seconds, then back down. And repeat, total of 15. Going. Total of 15. Ah, ooh, my glutes are sore. All right, Russian twist is the next one. Ooh. And then I'll ask you folks a couple questions about the workout at the end of the class, just for some feedback. But yeah, so make sure you participate. All right, so Russian twist. Ready? 40 seconds. Remember, Russian twist. Recline back. Heels could be dropped side to side or elevated. More challenging. Okay, go. Try to bring your elbows behind your back. Halfway there. One more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. All right. What's next? So next one is the car, the mobility car. So we're gonna do 8 on this one. So remember, so out, back, and down. Okay, so and down. So that's gonna be 8 on each leg. Folks ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Eight on each leg. Right, done with my right side. Gonna go with my left. All right, this set wasn't as taxing, so we only get 1 minute rest on this one. So we're just gonna do that round one more time, and then we're good for today. We'll just grab our chair and do some chair stretches. Good stuff. About 250 calories right now. Remember, push-ups is our first movement. 10 seconds. Ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, 10 to 15. Glute bridges are follow. Okay. So if you want, you can always have a dumbbell on your lap for this one, or on your hips. Remember, this one's 15. All right, go ahead. So squeeze for 2 seconds. Ooh, good job. All right, Russian twist. 40 seconds of this. Everyone. 5 seconds. Ready? Begin. 40 seconds. Halfway there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Whew. All right, and then on our fours for our last one, for our hip car. Not sure what the car stands for, but something fire hydrant related. All right, 8 on each side. Our last one. So ready? Out, back, and back down. Out, back, yeah. Switch. We're done with all sets. From here, let's do our back stretch. So just on our fours, and then let's just bring our glutes to our heels. Okay. Glutes to your heels. Relax, head down. On our fours, let's just do let's do 8 cat cows. Okay, so from here, arch up, to press down, and repeat 7 more times. Awesome. Grab a chair. We'll finish off with some chair stretches. Let's go ahead and sit on our left hand and bring our right hand over it and pull. So yeah, so right now, if you guys could see, just hold the stretch. The app will tell me that I had 5 and 10 pound dumbbells, and it says I lifted 15 sheep today. So based on the amount of weight, so 15 sheep, which adds up to about 3,000 pounds, 3,100 pounds. Yeah, so if you had anywhere between, like I said, let's switch, 5 to 10 pound dumbbells, overall accumulated weight that you moved today was about, yeah, close to that. So, and that takes into account like your body weight and you know, all the dumbbells that you moved. Let's go ahead and then let's do our, again, a little bit of mobility. So here, out, and up. Oh, sorry, no, just here and up. Here, just this motion right here. There you go. All right, let's go ahead and do our piriformis stretch. Favorite stretch here, ankle on your knee. Let's stop this. Burned about 270 calories today. So, are you guys okay with the 20-second rest in between the lifts, or do you guys want a little bit more? Is 20 seconds okay? Good. I see a couple thumbs up. Okay. What about the 2 minutes in between the full sets? Is that okay? Or too much? Okay. Carmen says, why are we resting? Carmen says we could rest when we die.
Exactly. We can have less.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, so
The 2 minutes makes me too comfortable
I see. Okay.
studying.
Yeah, someone's in shape. Let's bring that leg up. So yeah, so we could drop it down to a minute 20 or a minute 30. And this being our first session, yeah, it's more of like an intro one. So maybe I think for our next session, we could add maybe another exercise for each group. Just so we could have a little bit more and reduce the rest on that after each full set. And then we'll just play with it. I'm sure after like 3 or 4 weeks, we'll know exactly what we want. Let's switch. Ooh. Yeah, I'm trying to, my goal this year, besides the competitions, I'm trying to run 1,000 miles in the whole year. So that would be a little bit, on average, a little bit under 3 miles per day. But I'm only trying to run about 4 or 5 days per week. So I probably have to go about 4 miles on average. But yeah, on Friday, let's push down slightly. On Friday, I think Kathleen mentioned I was by her neighborhood, but I was out there running in Irvine and ended up going 12 miles. But yeah, just because next week is the half marathon. Bring that up. But yeah, it's a nice neighborhood and nice trails out there. The run starts off with a very steep hill. And if I told my buddy that that's how the run starts, he would have canceled on me. So I didn't mention anything about the trail. And as soon as we got there, he just gave me a dirty look. He was like, "You knew, huh?" I'm like, "Yep." I come here like once or twice a month with the team. So, but yeah. All right, and then our last one, the hip openers.
How did he feel afterwards?
So we were together for about 9 miles, maybe. Yeah, about 9 miles. I had another friend who was supposed to meet us who showed up late, and he was a little bit quicker, but he was only going 6 miles. So we crossed paths somewhere on the backside of the canyon, kind of where it splits off into like several forks. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, by the bathroom back there. And so my friend who wasn't a fan of the hills, he just told me just go without me. He's like, I'm already redlining. So yeah, so he did that. But yeah, I'm happy for him. He is one of my clients that started off when I started with him at 220 pounds, and he's at about 170 now. But
Cool.
but we'll be racing that race together next week. I don't know about together, but we're starting together. But yeah, but he's funny because he what he was looking forward to was the huge burrito after the run, because he was the one that found that location. So, but yeah, but it was nice. But I told him he came from Redondo Beach, then to me, and then down to Irvine. So, for him it was like an 80-minute commute. And I'm all for it when you drive somewhere for like a nice trail or a nice hike, when it's a long enough hike, but I don't want to drive an hour there, walk for 20 minutes and drive an hour back. So it only makes sense. So that's why we went far. But all right, folks, any questions before we head out? No questions?
Thank
All
you,
right.
Julio. It was perfect.
Of course.
It was
Cool.
good, very
Okay.
nice.
So do you guys like the new ones? I felt like a cheerleader.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can feel that.
And then that was the new one. And then what? Oh,
The hip.
underhand. Oh yeah, the hip
Hip.
one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff, the hip, that's as I've aged, my hip and my back have
Oh,
been.
come
Get
on.
out of here,
That's what I
Julio.
meant.
Talking to the wrong group.
So,
You're
no, but
not
yeah,
speaking to the choir.
I know you are kidding, but you are feeling it.
No, I'm serious. That's usually what
Just wait.
I have a very couch that I could just sink into, and to get off it, I can no longer just do this. I have to be like, and like there's a whole like routine.
No comment.
But yeah, but hopefully I don't get called in. I don't get called in for jury duty. But for
Wednesday.
some reason I do. I'll put something on the Canvas course. But all right.
Sounds good.
Have a
Thank
good one,
you.
dude.
Thanks,
See you
Julio.
Wednesday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, folks.